You wanted to know more about how to drive traffic to your online store, and that's why in last week's video, we covered 3 easy ways for you to do that. And this week, we're talking all about the simple sales strategy that I use in order to hit nearly 6 figures every time I do it. And the best part about this is it runs completely without me, which means that I was able to get away for a month to move cross country to Washington State. We're here in our new house, and have a wedding and do all of the things that it took to get our new house ready to get moved in. Obviously, it's been a really busy month for me personally, and thanks to this sales strategy, we were able to bring in almost $2,000 every single day this month without any effort on my part. Welcome back, I'm Christina Scalera, and I help you sell your digital products on autopilot so that you can go out there and enjoy your life while you're still earning passive income. And before we dive into today's video, I just want to do a quick reveal of what this actually is, because I'm gonna have to tell you exactly what I did in order to go into all of the details. And you may have heard me talk about this in a few different places before. We'll link to some of those videos below, so go watch them after you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, and then watch this video, because you can binge watch all my videos next. The way that I was able to do this completely passively, literally out of cell phone service as I was driving cross country, is through my semi-annual sale. This is something we host twice a year in my e-commerce shop. So the first time we do it is our mid-year sale, which typically is around July 4th, which is a big holiday here in the United States where most of my customers are based. And then the second time we do this is around Black Friday, because Black Friday is obviously an international holiday at this point, but even more so here in the US. Before I go into these strategies in more detail, I just want to remind you that if you start to feel overwhelmed by anything I'm talking about here today, you can always back it up. My first mid-year sale made $7,000, and I sent out 4 emails to a list of about 800, maybe 1,000 people at the time. And that was it. And the emails weren't even good. They were full of graphics and stock images that didn't match each other, and they just were really simple and said something like 4th of July sale, 40% off, now through Monday, get it while you can. I mean, no fancy marketing, nothing. So if you start to get overwhelmed as you're watching this video, hopefully you won't, because you can stop and pause and take notes. But if you start to find yourself in that territory, just remember to keep things simple. I am giving you the maximum to hopefully provide you enough value that you find all this free content worthy of a like down below, because that really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. But I would really love it if you just took any sort of action forward in the process of selling your e-commerce products. And if you have any doubt as you're going through this and you're doing the work, because it is some work to get this set up initially the first time, remember, you just set it up once and then you can rerun it every single semi-annual sale. But because it is a little bit of work, if you haven't done one of these before, I want to give you some things to keep in the back of your mind and remind you about, so that when you hit those little roadblocks or those little procrastination nudges start to creep in, you can remember me saying these things to you. Having a semi-annual sale is kind of like throwing that pebble in the water. So there's a big splash in the middle, and then as the weeks go on after the sale, you start to see the ripple effect of other people talking about the products that they bought during your sale, about your shop, about who you are as a brand. And even though those are getting weaker as the weeks go by, because naturally people get busy with other things, they're talking about new trends that are happening, you still get to enjoy the ripples on the pond effect from this big splash that you initially had with your semi-annual sale. Now, another reason a semi-annual sale is such a big hit for me is because as an introvert who literally works and lives and probably really doesn't leave my house very much, I enjoy having something that I can plan in advance, down to the marketing materials, down to the emails, everything. Everything can be pre-planned, pre-scheduled, and running without me, just like it did this year and the many years before. Actually, last year during our 4th of July semi-annual sale, I was on vacation in the place that I was about to get married in, so we were doing a lot of wedding planning during that sale. And all I was doing during that one was just kind of checking in at the end of the day to see how much money I had made, because that's really fun. And then finally, probably why you're watching this video is because you are in need of some cash, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's what makes this world go round, is being able to have opportunities and options. And the only way to have those things in our life is to have a decent amount of cash to afford us those things. And therefore, having a semi-annual sale is going to help you to attract those just by having a little bit of extra cash on hand, because during the semi-annual sale, you're going to see a big influx of purchases and a cash injection into your business. So if you've had a little bit of revenue trickling in here and there, a semi-annual sale could be the thing you need under your booty, and it might be the thing your customers need under their booty to start getting that money flowing. All right, so how do you actually do this? Well, the first thing that you want to plan is the discount to your sale. So if you are going to do a large discount, this is the time to do it. We only run a 40% off sale in my shop twice a year. We do little sales, 10%, 20% here and there, but this is the only time of the year that someone gets the biggest discount possible on all the products in our shop. Your semi-annual sale is not the time to get stingy with your discounts. You want to make sure that you're offering a big sexy number like 40 or 50% so that people understand that this is an event. This isn't just a run-of-the-mill sale. This is something that they should really pay attention to and make sure that if they're on the fence about buying, that there's no doubt, no hesitation in their mind, this is the absolute best time for them to get in and make a purchase. One of the biggest mistakes I see with my clients who go through S4 or Launch Your Shop Academy is they'll run a semi-annual sale, but they'll be too scared to do this big sexy discount. And unfortunately, that doesn't excite people when you're just saying 20% off or 25% off. It really needs to be a higher amount than that. So accordingly, as good business owners, we also need to price our products so that we're still profitable at 25, 35, 40% off. So keep those things in mind as you are pricing out your discount. And whatever your discount rate is, I would love to hear from you below what you're thinking about doing in the comments. You heard me mention my $7,000 first ever semi-annual sale, and I made a huge mistake during that sale, and actually the whole first 2 years I was in business. So if you're watching this video, you're way ahead of where I was at even in the first 2 years of my business. I used to think that the most important time of any kind of launch or sale or promo period was actually during the open cart, if you will. So when the sale was happening, I used to think that was when I need to be paying the most attention to my business, to my customers, and making everything just really get fired up and everyone's excited. And man, I couldn't have been further from the truth. So the best time isn't actually during the sale. It's important to be involved if you want to be. I love jumping in chat, that kind of stuff. Our semi-annual sales are made in the weeks and months leading up to the semi-annual sale, not actually during it. And that's because when we are preparing for the sale, we're building an audience, we're building interest, we're building intrigue in our products, and then during the sale, we're just closing. So the sale is as simple as reminding people that it's happening, but really where the selling comes in, where you're teaching people that they need your products and how to use your products and why your products are the best fit for them and all that good stuff, all of that is happening before the sale. So that's when you need to be paying the most attention to your business, having the most Instagram posts, the most TikToks, and the most valuable content going out to people, trying to get them to engage with your brand and learn about those products ahead of the sale. When people don't have success with their semi-annual sales and promotions, it's usually because they put all of the emphasis on the actual sale itself and not in the weeks or months leading up to it to build that audience's excitement for the sale that's about to happen. And finally, I want to wrap up with something that is going to make you a lot more money than if you just winged it on your own, because this is a mistake that I made during my first several sales events, my first semi-annual sale, my first Black Friday sale, etc. So what I was doing that really kind of messed things up was I wasn't giving a clear end date to the sale, and that didn't build the urgency that the sale needed to close even more purchases. And this feels like it would be a good thing if you just are like, hey, sales here, right? Like that's what we see most retailers do. If you ever go to Old Navy or Banana Republic, they have a sale, but they don't tell you when the sale is ending typically. And that works for them because they have millions of dollars to waste on ads. But personally, I don't. I really like keeping some of that money for myself as a small business, and I also just want to be wise about how I'm spending it. And therefore, the best way to do this if you are a smaller shop or a small business, you're not like a big corporation, is to make sure that you have those deadlines and that you're communicating them clearly to your customers, because they're going to need to know when that sale is ending so they can make a final purchasing decision and they either get in or they don't, and they know exactly when they have to make that decision by. We usually see the most sales on either our first or last day. It really depends on the year and the sale, but typically that's driven because of the deadline. When you use a deadline in your semi-annual sale, you're gonna see a lot more purchases come through because you're gonna have all those people that were sitting on the fence that now have to make a decision. And of course, nobody wants to miss out. There's so much FOMO in the world. So they're going to make a purchasing decision and decide to buy from you, which is great news if you wanna see that extra cash flow. If you really want to hammer home the fact that you have a deadline, you can always use countdown timers on your website and or in your emails. This is definitely a little bit more advanced tech-wise, so if you can't quite get there, don't worry about it. I do have a link below to the countdown timer that I use, so make sure you check that out if you are interested. Please keep in mind that semi-annual sales are just one strategy out of many that you could be using to grow your daily income. So if you are interested in continuing to grow that income, make sure you check out the video that just popped up on your screen. I cover 3 traffic strategies that will keep your shop sales humming so that you can enjoy sustained cash flow all year long. If you're not growing, you are dying. So make sure you watch that, and I'll see you in that video or next week. Take care, everyone.